Spring is here, and if you're like me, you're ready for a total refresh, starting with your skin. And that's exactly why I'm loving iRestore's latest skincare products. Their Renew Calming Facial Spray is amazing, especially for dry skin. It gives instant hydration, calms irritation, and helps firm your skin. And when used before the Illumina red light face mask, it enhances the benefits of the therapy. I also suggest pairing the Renew Calming Facial Spray and anti-aging eye cream with your Illumina face mask so you can see even better results. Give your skincare the love it deserves. For a limited time, subscribe and save 25% off or more, plus free shipping on iRestore Skincare, and our listeners are getting a huge discount on the iRestore Illumina face mask when you use code SALLY at iRestore.com. So head over to iRestore.com and use code SALLY for our show's exclusive discounts. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Unlock your best skin with iRestore.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Choose Strong podcast. I am along with... Wait, let's start that over.
No, we're keeping that.
Oh, let's start that over.
We're keeping that because our listeners need to know
they need
we're
to
not
know
striving
that.
for perfection. We're
okay.
real, and we don't do our intros over and over again.
That's true.
Because that's just how we roll, and I thought that was great. So just keep on going. Keep on going. Everyone knows that we're here together.
We're here. All right. Hello and welcome to the Choose Strong... I'm going to do it again. No? Okay.
I think they've already been welcomed.
Okay, welcome.
Like they're like running right now. Their kids are in the car with them. They're refinishing a deck.
Yeah.
They know we're here.
They know.
They push play. They know that we're present.
I am just here to say welcome. Thanks for having us in your ears today. Grateful, right? We got a great show, Sal. We got a great show planned for everyone today. You know why? It's because it's for the people, by the people, when it comes to Sally Says Questions. So, yeah, so that's, I'm excited. I'm excited about these.
By the people,
yeah,
I love it.
It's their questions, and they're getting their answers today. So, pretty
nice
pumped.
Hat, by the way.
It's a great
hat.
Mine is a lot more, let's just say less used.
Salty and sweaty.
Yes. Salty and sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, how was your day today?
It was good.
Yeah.
Started off with a few hours at the gym, got into that sauna for 40 minutes. That's kind of been my schedule lately, is this knee is still healing. I went to the doctor yesterday and talked with the surgeon about why my knee keeps swelling up. He's like, it's because it doesn't want to run yet. And I'm like, all right. So been going to the gym, usually get on the bike for about an hour, stepper for an hour, lift for an hour. And then I finish off in the infrared sauna for 40 minutes. So that's been the daily schedule, and that's what I did this morning.
I saw you got a PR.
I got a weight PR, yeah. 50-pound dumbbells, doing that good old bench
dumbbell press?
Dumbbell press, yeah.
50s is, no joke. That's
I mean, it
good.
was no joke. I thought I was going to crush myself with them.
How many
it was just
did
max.
You do? Oh, gosh.
It was just, I just did 2 sets of 5 reps. That's it.
Two sets of 5
fancy.
reps of 50 each?
Yeah.
So your PR is like way bigger than 50.
Maybe.
Like if you were just to go in and like, hey, I'm going to knock out one quality rep right here.
Yeah.
It's probably what, 60 pounds?
Probably. No, maybe 55.
Really? If you can do 55 times, I bet 3 times, I don't know.
I also got a PR yesterday in what's the machine? It's like a decline press. It kind of sits back just a little bit. You're upright, but you sit back a little bit and you just put the plates on it.
Oh, yeah.
Is that decline?
No,
that's
decline. If the bench is backwards.
It's slightly backwards. Yeah.
That's decline.
So that one I got a PR in. I did 4 plates of 45 and
2 on each side.
2 on each side.
Okay.
Plus 2 25-pounders and 2 10-pounders.
Pounders, huh?
So how much weight is that?
That's a good question.
That's 180 plus 50. So that's 250. No, 230.
Mm-hmm.
230 and then 2 10-pound. So
250?
250. Yeah, I did 250. But those were like, I did 3 sets of 2 reps. But like each I like push up a rep and let it come down completely and then push it up, and then that was all I could do.
Still, that's some serious weight.
I was proud of that. I was like, I need to be able to push a mountain lion off of me.
Yeah.
That's the goal is mountain lion weight, or just like, being attacked by somebody, I could just push the person off me.
Attacked, yeah. Or a boulder, like anything, right? Like if you're out there,
A boulder.
like in a serious note, like, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like that, like if that could happen.
Yeah.
So you're just like, dude, I'm got some upper body.
That's where I've
off.
experienced I can do the most weight.
Yeah, and that machine.
That machine. I don't know why, but
well, the
my core is working so hard. I literally feel like when I do it too, I feel like I'm gonna like float off like my body is pushing so hard. Because it's way more than how much I weigh.
Yeah. The decline bench is a lot easier to do in general, but
I think
still
so.
that's a lot of weight. That's
right?
Pretty impressive, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely easier to do, but I'm like still super stoked I can push that much weight.
Did you go sleeveless on that day or no?
I always go sleeveless.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, no. I love wearing giant oversized t-shirts. I'm rocking the double XL t-shirts.
You're hiding the pump.
But then I end up, but sometimes it gets in my way, like the shirt gets in my way. So sometimes I pull my sleeves up on my shoulders. But do you see it? Like I have no mass.
You have some serious.
If you're watching this
arms.
on video right now, I don't have big arms though. It's actually like kind of funny. This guy actually walked up to me one time and he's like, he was super. He was a cool dude.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like even today I like posted something on my story about this guy that came up to me. I talk to people all the time in the gym. People come up to me all the time. I get it. I'm not offended by that when guys come up to me. That's just not my thing.
Unless they're creepers.
They're creepers, but I don't think that means that all men in the gym are creepers.
No.
I don't like that narrative. Like the vast majority of men I interact with are super cool. And they're respectful. They're aware. Every now and then I get a creeper. Every now and then I get someone that follows me to the parking lot or just like says something that's like just wild.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I just think that's people in general, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Like, I've had wild interactions with women too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say I've been going to the gym since I was 15, 16 years old. So I am very much used to like the interactions I have with people at the gym. I think for the most part, I also understand I do a lot of wild stuff at the gym and I'm there for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's unusual. So yeah, people are going to come up to me and ask me questions. What do you do? They'll ask about like the exercise I'm doing or just like, oh, clearly you're training for something. What are you training for?
Yeah.
I don't find offense to that at all.
No, that's valid.
But this guy, like, I could tell he was like trying like his hardest and the best way to give me a compliment. And it was when I've been trying to PR in that bench, just like the one I always go back to over and over again. I'm like, wow, I can really like push weight here. And usually after a race, like that bench also like humbles me because I can't believe how fast I'll also lose strength. Like after like a 200-mile race or something like that, I've had to like take off several plates and kind of go back to square one. And so it was like a month ago, this guy was like he was like right next to me putting plates on something that he was doing. And then I'm putting plates on my machine and I go to do a rep on that decline machine and he's standing there just staring at me. And then his mouth like drops open and he's like, dude, that's wild that he's like, clearly you're putting on weight that's way more than what you weigh. He's like, that is so impressive. And I said, thank you so much. I appreciate that. He's like, yeah, that's like insane. Do you know that's insane? And I was like, I don't, because I guess I just don't think about that. I just think about how I just want to be stronger. And I don't really know like what the norm is for a woman of like my height and weight.
Yeah.
I just have always kind of laughed at my arms because clearly my arms are always like way smaller than my legs. as one PT put it so kindly several years ago, I'm horribly disproportionate. That wasn't very nice, but I do think that. Like my legs are much bigger than like my arms if you had to like balance out or make a ratio or whatever. But yeah, I think it's kind of fun. I think it's fun to do things in a way that maybe don't make sense to the outside world or maybe don't make sense to even the way our body looks.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been way more important to me to try things based on like desire, curiosity,
Yeah.
far outside of like whether or not the shape of my body, the appearance of my body, or where I am in my training cycle, if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's always like the fun part of training, and
Yep.
it's important to insert that into our everyday training, whether you're training for a race or not, because that's what keeps it like fun and interesting. For someone that trains like every day, sometimes twice a day, it's like, I need that.
Yeah,
I need to be
definitely.
doing
Change it up.
stuff like that. So yeah, I think training right now it's very weight heavy. I'm just trying to get as strong as possible while the knee heals. So
Did you ask that guy if he wanted to do a little arm wrestle after you threw
no,
that
not
weight up? No.
not at all. He said we had to stay, and then he got back to work. He was super sweet. He was just went out of his way to pay a nice compliment, but no, I didn't want to scare him.
You didn't want to take the pump cover off and be like, "Hey, let's go."
Yeah, I don't think any guy is intimidated by me at the gym. They're usually perplexed.
I bet you they are.
That's usually the response I get is just completely perplexed. Yeah, which is hilarious.
All right, so today I read an article on the world's oldest marathon runner.
114 years old.
Yes, you've heard about this. He passed away after a hit and run in India, which is super sad. But man, the guy was insane. I read this article. I have it right here in front of us. But he died on a.
You want to read a little bit of it?
car.
Because there's some people listening
Sure.
right now that didn't hear this. I did see the article this morning, and like two big things stuck out to me. One, the fact that he's 114, like
Yes,
even living to that age is wild. But two, that he still runs.
Yes.
I mean, even still walking. But the fact that he's labeled a marathoner at a 114, mass respect. That's incredible.
Yeah, so his name's Foja Singh, and he was 114, and then the article says that he began running at the age of 89 after tragedy struck his family. He lost his wife and son, but it was a tragic death of his son that said he brought on his depression, and his son was like killed in a farming accident in 1994, and he witnessed it. Like, he saw what happened. So he later moved to London, and then it said that from the tragedy has come a lot of success and happiness because he ran the London Marathon in 2000, and then he completed several other marathons, and his best finish was in Toronto in 2003 in 5 hours and 40 minutes. But in 2011, at the age of 100, he became the oldest man to complete a marathon. The record, however, was not officially recognized by the Guinness World of Records because he didn't have a birth certificate to prove his age. This is government officials in India. They said they had stated that birth records were not kept at the time that he was born, but he did have a British passport that listed his date as April 1st, 1911. Crazy.
And so it's still not a Guinness Book of
It doesn't
Records.
say. It doesn't say. I mean, yeah.
I'm counting it.
I count it too. But I mean, tragic, 114, but what a stud.
So he got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Out for a run.
He got hit. Car took off while he was crossing the road in India.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know.
Super heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking, but also in the same vein, pretty amazing. He picked up running at 89 and became a 100-mile or a 100-year-old marathoner, which is pretty
What
awesome.
an inspiration.
Yeah.
You're never too old to dream a new dream, to
Yep.
try new things, and he proved that.
Yeah.
It's wild to think that he had been running for 25 years
Mm-hmm.
and didn't start till he was 89. So there you go, listeners. There's your encouragement
Yeah.
to continue trying new things, dreaming new dreams, and getting after it. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
how old or young you are, where you are in your life, you can keep going.
Yeah.
As this incredible man did. What a life well lived. It's sad that he went in that way.
Yeah, I know.
That really is heartbreaking, and sounds like he had a really a lot of heartache in his life.
Yeah, big time. I do want to mention one more cool thing though. Okay, this has nothing to do with running, but it's okay, I'm a big soccer guy, as you know. You're a soccer girl because you played your whole life. But the World Cup is coming up in a year. Next summer, we are going to be in the midst of World Cup in North America. So I'm pretty pumped about that. And I need to get a USA jersey really, really quick. But I saw online this robot soccer. All right. So AI powered robots playing soccer in China. Soccer tournament 3-against-3. If you haven't seen this, there's a little YouTube. There's a 1.5-minute video. Let me just break it down real quick. Basically, it looks like when your 5-year-old joins a team called the Starburst and they play soccer. Basically, what it looked like. They're just like all huddled together and nobody's really doing anything. But I guess it's like the only time like an AI. It's just an AI like fully what do they call it? They call it the first fully autonomous AI robot football match. So like they decide like where to go. Like it's fully AI. Like it's not like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's
No one's controlling
yeah,
them?
yeah, exactly.
That doesn't frighten you?
Yeah, it's really
AI
weird.
robots are not. I'm not a fan.
But it's like
It's scary
it's
because you
funny.
see so many sci-fi movies about these
Yeah.
robots taking over the world and turning on humans.
Yeah, but when you watch this one, you'll be like, okay, we're cool because these robots, like, they don't know what they're doing. So, like, there's this one, the robot is like off to the side and just like he's running, he like falls down. Like, it just looked hilarious because they're like 3 feet tall, and it's just funny. But then this tournament, they have you know how like soccer where the guy like falls down and he like
Yeah.
pretends he's hurt, and the meds run out there real quick and they put him on the stretcher. They did the same thing with the robot.
I'm watching the link that you sent me, and for our viewers, if you are watching us on YouTube, you're seeing
So
this
good.
right now. We'll do a little screenplay of this for you and add the link.
Enjoy because it's comical.
It is comical, and yeah, I'm watching them just fall on the ground
Isn't
and
it
not know what
funny?
to do.
Like they can't get back up. They gotta have someone come
I
out.
did see a goal scored though, so this is
And if you watch
even the way they walk is really
it's
embarrassing.
really weird. But it's
Yeah.
funny because like there was people in the stands and like if you had the volume up, you can hear when they score. People are like, yeah, cheering and stuff. It was pretty funny.
Wow. Wow.
Anyways, AI robots. In case you are wanting to get your soccer fix before the World Cup comes on, this is what you should do. You should be
No.
watching.
You should not
AI
be watching this
robots.
because the stretcher that's being brought out
I
right
know, isn't
now
that great?
is wild.
You
This
like
is
take them to the
wild.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder if these robots are getting paid or who's getting paid for this.
it's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. But all right, sorry that was a random tangent. But Sal, you just got back a couple days ago, actually, from being out in the desert. Badwater 135. Obviously, you didn't race this year, but you were out there producing, directing a film, correct?
Mhm.
Tell us a bit about your week.
Yeah, I went out for Mount Coast has 4 female athletes that they wanted to cover. They wanted to cover their races. They had asked Billy to do the editing on the film.
Yeah.
They had a team of wildly talented videographers out there that I had the pleasure of working with. Billy was in Hard Rock, so he wasn't able to be out there, and so he asked me to go out and direct the team. So yeah, I spent the week doing that. This is, I've talked about this before. It's something that I have increasingly really enjoyed doing. And I think not being able to race, but rather cover somebody else's stories, in this case, 4 women, brought a lot of joy to my heart. I love the storytelling side of things. Production is always really interesting to me. So I got out there actually on Saturday before the race to do pre-production, all the prep work and paperwork and all the stuff that goes into, making sure a film is organized and is smooth and operates right. And then Sunday is when everyone kind of started coming in. Sunday afternoon, we started doing interviews and covering the race, like the race expo and race meeting. So yeah, it was good. We had 4 athletes. We had Kaylee, who's a 20-year-old athlete. This is actually her 3rd time doing Badwater. We had Victoria from Canada. We had Meg and we had Sierra. All 4 of these athletes, they all run for Mount to Coast,
Mm-hmm.
and they all had completely different experiences. I think our first athlete came through in 26 hours. Our last one came out in a little over 40 hours. And so it was a long day out there.
Yeah.
The last time I went to sleep was Sunday night. Didn't sleep again until Wednesday. So yeah, it was pretty exhausting. I stayed out in Death Valley for a couple days after the race, even after the team, went home, just to kind of wrap up work and catch up on sleep. And yeah, but it was good. So I love being in Death Valley, love Eastern Sierra and Mount Whitney. And, Badwater is a very unique race. I think it's almost kind of like a standalone event. You think of like Barkley marathons, and I think Badwater is pretty similar as far as just like even like the own Badwater like family and community.
Yeah.
Typically there's about 20 different countries that are represented, which is something I really love about
that's cool.
the race. You just hear so many different languages, and I think that's really cool. But yeah, the course is unique. It's entirely on road, and it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite routes in the world. So it really was a privilege to be out there. And
What was the temperature like this year?
It was, in my opinion, probably the coolest Badwater I've ever heard of, probably I've ever experienced. Once we got to Panamint Springs, which is like the belly of the desert and typically is like the hottest, I don't even know if it was 100. I was never hot. I mean, it was like, oh yeah, it's hot out, but like when you think of Badwater, it's unrelenting, almost unbearable heat. And yeah, it never got to that. I don't even know if it ever even got to 110. So that was wild. That was really wild to see, to see 80 degrees a lot, 80s, 90s. In the evenings, it was like, I think especially as making our way towards Lone Pine, I mean, we're hitting, 75 degrees. I mean, that was wild.
Yeah.
I think it's still difficult though. I mean, once you go past 75, 80 degrees and you don't have a break and you don't have any shade, and you're just staying in that, and you're pushing really hard, it's fully exposed. I mean, you feel that heat. I mean, it's not easy. And so, everyone's still getting doused in, sponges and being sprayed down and they're feeling it. But it was wild, at least 20 degrees cooler than what it usually is, which is pretty significant. If you think of the difference between 80
huge.
and 100, 90 and 110, I mean, that's very different.
Well, I feel like even in when you hit 100, the difference between 102 to like 110 is like significant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though it's only 8 degrees, like once you hit 100, there is something gnarly in those numbers. Yeah,
for sure.
Well, was it kind of cool to just see the other side of the, I mean, not the other side, but like, that different perspective. Like, I know you really wanted to race it this year, but
yeah, it was my 5th time being out there.
Yeah.
I've experienced it since like 2014. And this is the first time I've ever seen all 3 wave starts. So that was pretty interesting. They've also changed the start times just a half hour early. So now racers start at 8, 9, 10 when it used to be 8, 9:30, and 11. So that's kind of nice. Like the elite wave gets 1 extra hour of darkness, which I think that's a game changer.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah. So, and which also means the elite wave gets an extra hour for that 50-mile cutoff.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting that people don't know about Badwater is it's 8, 9, 10 o'clock waves, but every single wave has the exact same cutoff. So, in a way you get, like in golf, you get like that handicap if you're elite. So In times past, we always had 3 hours less to get to the 50-mile mark.
Yeah.
I used to banter, like joke with Chris all the time to let me be in on the early wave. Like, why not?
Mhm.
Like, why not? Like, why are you giving me less dark hours and being that much more sleep deprived? I mean, starting at 10, 11 o'clock at night, that's hard.
Yeah.
It feels different than when you start at 8. And so, yeah, I'll probably continue to have that conversation
What does he
with him.
say? He's just like, no.
He just won't have it. He won't even entertain it. He's
No.
like, no, no, no. There isn't really a reason. It's
Yeah.
just the way they do things. And, sometimes it's tradition and just
Yeah.
historically how things are done. But I always argued with him. I was like, listen, like, it's like, this is my job. And I want to have the best opportunity possible to like post like the best time
Mhm.
that I can.
Sure.
So if you have people running at 8, can I run at 8 too? And he's just like, he won't
Nope.
have it.
Nope.
Yeah, it's
Really
fun.
quick. So you had 4 athletes you guys were covering.
Mhm.
What was that like when, especially later on in the race when one is like 10 hours ahead and then you got, 5 hours back there? Like how did you guys divvy that up? Because you only had one film
One
crew,
media
right?
car.
So like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Badwater's one road.
Mhm.
So it's very different from covering a mountain race.
Yeah.
Mountain races are hard because you're connecting trails. There's switchbacks and trees and hidden canopies that it's
Yeah.
sometimes you're sitting on a rock for several hours or hiking in, for an hour just to get to one spot to film somebody for a couple minutes. So
Yeah.
very different. So being able to, and the pace of Badwater is slow. So if someone was, even if they were 10 miles ahead could be the difference between 3 and 5 hours between
Yeah.
two athletes,
Yeah, that's true.
depending on the pace that they're going. So for us to go back 10 miles, like that's a super quick drive for us.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy as the longer the race went on, once, when people are 20 hours apart, like that was hard. It was pretty exhausting. Like my team worked very hard and
Mhm.
I was pretty bent on making sure that we had these increments of rest. So wherever I could find, I was like, okay, like you guys can rest for like 2 or 3 hours right here. You can rest for 60 minutes. I tried to do that as much as I can because I wasn't operating a camera.
Yeah.
But when you have 3 camera operators and very, very talented guys, it's kind of hard to, sometimes you have to say, hey, we're not going to shoot this part because I actually need you to sleep so that
Mhm.
you can do your best work. So as a director, it is constantly thinking about like what the storyline is. Like I had to make a lot of off the cuff just decisions, whether that was like, hey, we're really going to zero in just on this athlete for the next 10 hours. Like the story that's being formed here is like really powerful.
Mhm.
Covering 4 athletes that are going to go into one documentary, like you just have to do that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think there's 2 athletes that probably like shined a little bit brighter as far as like what their stories were turning out to be in throughout the day.
Mhm.
And that's just on decision type stuff that I had to make, but also keeping in mind that my crew needs to sleep. And so those decisions kind of need to go hand in hand or else nobody's doing good work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it gets tricky because I personally didn't have an assistant and I didn't have a production crew with me, which I'm used to. Like when I do bigger shoots, like you have a production crew and then you have like your photographers and art directors and directors and camera operators. And so it's like these 2 crews that work to support each other. I was kind of doing both. And so, yeah, I didn't sleep. I had a lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
But I think when I'm in my element and I really love, what it is that I'm doing, it's super enjoyable. And the guys that I got to film with, I'd never filmed with before outside of Matt Shapiro. I've filmed with Matt for like the
Mhm.
past year pretty solidly, and I really enjoy working with Matt. He's a very peaceful, very focused hard worker, and so he was pretty easy. But the other 2 guys, they do like National Geographic Patagonia, like very big budget type films. So even when they rolled up and I saw their equipment, I was like, oh, dang.
Big time.
I was like, I had to raise the bar for myself because I know what those camera operators are used to and their expectations. And so I really wanted to make sure that I met that. And yeah, it was probably one of my favorite projects to date, I think, just as far as being on that side of the camera and it not being my story.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of cool.
yeah, I'm really proud of the work that we did, and now it's Billy's job. He's home from Hard Rock now, so now it's Billy's job to go through the footage and edit a good film. So he's good at what he does. So I'm excited to see what he puts together. I might have to sit with him a little bit and talk through like the storyline and stuff like that. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did you know Function is the only health platform that gives you access to the kind of data most people never see and the insights to actually take action? That's why Sally and I have chosen Function. Function can test over 160 biomarkers, from heart and hormones to toxins, inflammation, and stress. You can also access multi-region MRI and CT scans, all tracked in one secure place over time. That's why top health leaders like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, and Dr. Jeremy London are all behind Function Health. And lab visits are fast and convenient at 2,000 plus locations across the U.S. For $499 a year, that's $1.37 a day for cutting-edge health insights. All results are tracked over time in one secure place, so you see how your health evolves. Insights come from top doctors based on your unique results. Learn more and join using our link. The first 1,000 get a $100 credit toward their membership. Visit functionhealth.com/Sally McRae or use gift code Sally McRae at sign up to own your health. Sweet. All right. Well, let's move on, Sal. I got a little review I'm going to share.
Okay.
All right. This one is from Dev Sachs 3 from Apple Podcasts. I stumbled upon Sally on YouTube, and ever since that day, I've been hooked on researching ultras. Because of you, Sally, I'll be running my first trail marathon this year and a 50-mile next year. And I love the husband and wife banter and the shared experiences on the podcasts. So, Dev Sachs, first trail marathon. Boom.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Congratulations. It's
And
a
a
great
50-miler.
distance. Yeah. 2 great distances. Because you know what? Those are distances that you can get it done and still be home for dinner, still be home for lunch, still live a real life, take
50
care of those
miles.
kiddos, get stuff done around the house.
See what you do to
That's
people, Sal?
pretty
People listen
incredible.
to you, and all of a sudden they're like, I'm going to sign up for a 50-miler.
Well done.
Be careful, listeners. Be careful. That's what happens. All right. Next, I have some strong mind, strong body, strong love community highlights that I want to highlight, point out. This one's actually an email from Jody in Australia. And I'm not going to read the whole email, but I do want to just kind of give a quick little shout out to her friend. They're both listeners of the podcast. And her friend, Jenny, was just diagnosed with bile duct cancer of the liver. And it's been spreading now outside the liver. So she just wanted to let us know, and that she listens to our show, and she loves it, and she says it's so positive, and she has a big smile on her face when she watches it. And but this diagnosis is a big shock to her and her family and her community. But anyways, her friend Jody wanted to reach out and to share that with us. And we get quite a few of these emails, that people are walking through some tough stuff, and it's some serious life altering news that people get, and they share it with us. And we're grateful that people feel that they can share that with us, but also grateful that they feel encouraged in their walk through that season of pain or illness that they get from listening to us. So grateful for this email. I know it's a tough one to listen to, but Jody, thank you for sending this in, and Jenny, we are cheering for you, praying for you as you battle. So
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. It's heavy.
All right. The next one, got a strong body here. I got Denise from the Facebook group. Denise Clay said, oh man, I forgot. She wrote, sorry, Eddie, my 25K was only 14.46 miles, but when I finished, it felt like 102, and I was cooked. North Carolina's heat and humidity had us all seeking for any shade that we can find. It was a fun event, though, and for a good cause. So, Denise, props to you for crushing a 25K.
Amazing.
And you don't need to apologize to me, because when I see a 25K on that Strava, you're getting a massive kudos from me. I don't care if it was 14.46 miles. You know? Let's that's one thing where, I mean, if you have
How many
a race,
times did you get tagged in that?
Which one? That one
in
guy?
that reel of that guy in a storm.
Yeah, thank you guys for sending that our way, because
There so many people tagged
funny.
you. It's this guy finishing a run, and I think his ring or his security camera caught him. He looks at his watch. Clearly, he has not hit the miles that he wants to, and so he goes back out to run. But it's like full-blown storm, flood, or something.
There's a tornado or something coming, or
but he's like, no,
yeah.
got to get the mileage in. And so all these people sent this reel to Eddie. It was so good.
Yeah, it was very good. He that guy was my people. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys all sending us that, because that was pretty entertaining. But Denise, it's all about you right now. Well done on the 25K. Cranked out. Good race. All right, last one we have. Strong Mind is from Annie B in the Choose Strong Strava group. She had a morning run, 2-mile morning run, and she said it was her first run in the longest time. So I just wanted to point that out and give her a little shout out, because sometimes those are the hardest runs ever, right? Where you haven't ran in a while and you're like, I'm going to go out. I know I just need to run. I need to get outside. And that 2 miles feels like it's the worst pain, and it's just brutal, even though it's only 2 miles, because you haven't done it in a long time. You just feel like, your body just feels out of shape, or, just like doesn't feel good. So I've definitely been there numerous times. And Annie, well done getting back out there. We're cheering you on in the Choose Strong Strava group. And if you're not in that group, you need to get in there and cheer Annie on. So, Sal, what do you think when you go out for a run that you haven't ran a long time? Like that's not a good feeling, right? It's not a good feeling right away.
It's not. It's hard. It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. Yeah. Exactly. Speaking of uncomfortable, do you want to share what you had for dinner last night on the podcast?
We have 21 minutes left, by the way.
Okay, we need to hustle.
Yeah.
So we'll save that for another. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to get into Sally Says, and this whole section is basically the bulk of why we're doing this episode. And Sally, I'm just going to hit you with a couple of these questions, and you just tell me when we need to bail, and then I'll stop. All right, so the first one is from @Schwaderk on Instagram. And the question is this: are boundaries healthy to have when deciding how many races a year one does? I love racing and the excitement, but I also want to know what a healthy balance is while raising 3 little boys and being a good wife.
Great question. Thank you so much. Strong mama raising 3 boys. That's incredible. What a joy. What a gift. So from mama to mama, I'm going to answer this question. First and foremost, I think one of the greatest things about being a mom and still working toward our goals is that your family, your children are completely unique to you. And so the way that you organize your life, the way that you structure your days, what your kids' needs are, what your needs are, how your family runs day in, day out, the activities that you do, the help that you have, the family, outer family involvement that you have, all those things are very unique to you. And so I always like to speak to that first, because I think as moms, it's really easy for us to get mom guilt. Especially if we're scrolling online, or we're just, maybe at a mom gathering, and we're listening to what everyone else does in their life, whether it's how they get their laundry done or getting the kids off to school, even what our own personal resources are. And so I have a massive, giant heart for moms. And this is really a space that I have spoken into for a very long time. Even when I first became a mom, I would talk a lot about this. And I think first and foremost, you're doing a wonderful job. Anytime that you choose to work toward a goal, know that you immediately have an audience there. Your kids are watching. They are inspired by you, whether you are training for a 1-mile race or a 100-mile race. Your kids don't really understand the boundaries of racing or, a healthy balance of how many races you should be doing. They're just watching what you do. So I always like to encourage in this way, if as soon as you say, I want balance, I want boundaries in this, I think that's wonderful self-awareness. So well done. Your desire to want to be a good mom and a good wife is naturally going to help you dictate that. What feels best to you? What works for your family? Because what works for me might not work for you. When I was raising my kids, I didn't have a lot of outside help. I didn't have a nanny. I didn't have like consistent help like ever. And, Eddie was working a lot. I was running a business. So my schedule looked really erratic. Sometimes most of my training when my kids were little started between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. That doesn't work for everyone. And my kids were great in the jogging stroller. So I could go out for like an hour and a half jogging stroller. I had access to a gym that had just opened and it was free childcare for 2 hours. And my kids loved to play together in the childcare room. All of these are really unique situations to me that I kind of figured out in order to help me train. But I'd say that every season in my life, balance looks different. There are some seasons where it's like I could train for like 2 or 3 races, but then other times where I trained for 4 or 5 races. And then it came down to, okay, what were those distances? So I say, what works for you? What feels best? What do your kids need? What does your family need to thrive, to feel seen, to feel fulfilled? Because at the end of the day, that really is what it's about. I think that an important thing to remember, especially for parents that are raising children, is you're never too late to fulfill a dream. And I think sometimes it's easy to feel that way, especially when we're really tired. And children bring so much transition and change into our lives. It's easy to feel like my best days are behind me, or going after dreams, well, that's behind me, or it's going to be, forever before I can do that again. I'm always tired. I'm always busy. I always don't feel like I have things together. We can beat ourselves up and really focus on the things that we don't have and the things that are overwhelming us, and totally forget about the things that make our lives so fulfilling and so wonderful. So I say take it one race at a time. Sign up for a race, see how that training goes, and then if it feels good and it's going well, sign up for another one. But I don't think that we don't need to, as parents, stress ourselves out by saying, here's my January 1st, here's my 6 races on the calendar, this is what I'm going to do, and then totally stress ourselves out or beat ourselves up along the way if it doesn't work out. I know when, as the older that my kids got, as they hit like preschool and then as they hit kindergarten and those early elementary school years, I couldn't believe how much my schedule changed with them. And I was still trying to, I worked in their classroom. I was always a room mom. I was always going on field trips. I was at every single event that they had at their elementary school. All those things were really important to me. And so I did give up on, a lot of other things in order to do that. The older that my kids got and more busy they got, I started running with people less and less and less because I wanted to run at the times when I wasn't needed by my kids. And so I think that's also what makes it really fun, is you get to create the life that you love in a way that looks perfect, just uniquely for you and your family. But remember, you are an amazing, wonderful mama. And there is no one else in this whole entire universe that was chosen to be the mother of your 3 boys except you. And so I hope I can encourage you with that. Keep going after those dreams, but grace and strength to you always.
That was awesome. Great answer. All right. Next one from Ultra Kex on Instagram. How to handle pre-race day nerves.
Yeah, this is a great question. This is a wonderful question, I'd say, from, anywhere from youth to even professional seasoned athletes. We all get nervous, and there's different things that we get nervous about. Nerves sometimes are like our body saying, hey, I care about this a lot. Sometimes we get nervous because it's only been 4 months post-injury, and we just really, really want to have that feeling again of having a great race. Sometimes we're nervous because we didn't put all the training in that we really wanted to. And so then we're nervous, like, how is this going to turn out?
Mm-hmm.
So I say bring all of those feelings to life, even in the couple days before you get to the race. Like, let them come into existence, and then it's a lot easier to not make them so overwhelming. Call it what it is. I am nervous because, and talk about that. Let yourself solve that. Let yourself work through that. Embrace that. So, it could even be like, I'm nervous because every single race, like, I feel like I have diarrhea by mile 3. Like, like visit with that.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that? How are you going to handle that? How are you going to embrace that? Let's say that all the things that you're nervous about are actually going to come true. Have a response and a reaction for all of that. But one of the best things that you can do to prevent the race day nerves from being so overwhelming is to have a race day schedule, to have a race day routine, because it keeps you locked in and in control. Sometimes we get really nervous and anxious when we feel like we're out of control and we're so overwhelmed by the unknown. And, races, there's a lot of unknowns. You can't control what's going to happen out there, especially if it's a trail race. And so I say, come up with a routine that you start implementing every single long run. And then the week of the race, go over that routine over and over and over again. The week before your race, you should already know exactly what you're going to be eating the night before the race. You should know exactly what shoes, socks, underwear, sports bra, hat, sunscreen, every single piece of your gear that you're going to be wearing. You should already know that the week before the race. There should be no questions, no try anything new. You should already know the exact nutrition, the amount of electrolytes. All of those things should be in your control. Are you going to have music or are you not going to have music? Have all of that stuff just set in stone so that race week is actually a celebration of the hard work that you've put in, so that race morning, there isn't any question about what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You're just going to be flowing through exactly what you know that you're going to do. So, yeah, well done on having race day nerves, because that means that you trained. That means that you believed in yourself and put in the work and signed up for the race in the first place, which is a lot more than most people will ever do. So be proud of yourself for that. Don't doubt yourself. Be proud of the work that you put in and really believe that anything is possible, especially as it means getting to that finish line. It's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to hit some surprises along the way, but don't ever doubt that you can't get to that finish line. So don't let the nerves overwhelm you. Be in control of the controllables and embrace all of the uncontrollables, knowing that you can handle and that you are very well equipped for anything that comes your way.
Love it. Good stuff. All right. This is a little different, but Sal, if you were packing the car and you're like, hey, I'm going to go visit McKinsey and Flag.
Yeah.
And you got a 7.5-hour drive. What are you packing for your road trip snacks?
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Well, I always have like some type of gummy candy. I don't know why I love gummy candy when I'm driving, some sour gummy candy. But I do, it's just a staple for me, especially when I travel, even if I'm heading to the airport. I always have bottled green juice.
Mm-hmm.
It's my go-to.
Your greens. Yep.
I have my greens. It just makes me feel good.
Solid choice.
Yeah, when I have to sit for so long, I love green juice. It's my thing. Electrolytes for sure. If I'm just driving, I usually have a variety of fruit. So it's usually apples, little cuties, little grapes or berries, and something salty. Could be like pretzels.
Yeah.
Or beef jerky. Something like that. I like to keep it simple, but yeah, there we go. Road trip snacks.
Road trip snacks. Like it. Okay.
Yeah.
There we have it. Okay. What about, speaking of food, this is from @RachelGo. She asks, how to eat well for a runner on a budget. Groceries are so expensive. Yes, they are. So how would you share with someone that I want to eat healthy? There's a lot of junk out there, and I want to fuel my body correctly. How do we eat healthily on a budget?
Yeah, I grew up, the first half of my life eating on a very, very, very extremely tight budget, and I think growing up too, eating on a budget was just whatever's cheapest. I didn't really think about healthy on a budget.
Yeah.
So as I've gotten older, that is actually something that is really important to me. I love talking about this because I really do understand what it feels like when you maybe don't have all the resources or maybe a bigger budget to buy all the food that you really want to in the grocery store, especially as it pertains to like grass-fed, cage-free, organic, all the stuff that like we want so much that unfortunately is the most expensive in
It's
the
like
store.
double price. Yeah.
Yeah, which why I don't know why it has to be that way. But so my go-to, and these are really basics, Eddie, I think I could make an entire podcast about this, but I actually talked with Dan about this in our last one, and I said, when you are struggling in the grocery store to know what to eat as it pertains to just being healthy, the best thing you can do is just ask yourself, did it have a mother or was it grown in the dirt?
Mm-hmm.
And typically you're just going to end up choosing, for the most part, really healthy choices.
Yeah.
You're going to do really well with that. When I was college age buying my own groceries, especially my junior and senior year when I lived off campus, I just found all of like the cheapest healthy food. So I always had apples in my fridge. It was like the most basic fruit. It was always apples, bananas, and oranges. And then for vegetables, I always had celery, cucumbers, lettuce, like just like thinking about, okay, what are the most basic fruits and vegetables that I can have? I always just felt better on that. I wouldn't say that I always had like the widest range of stuff, but I will say my body, the older I got, I just knew that if I was just eating as close to the source in its most purest form, I always just felt good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would encourage you. Take a look at in your grocery list what could be eliminated so that you could buy more healthy, more pure, closest to the source food. So can you eliminate the chips and pretzels and all of the box processed stuff so that you could buy more fruits and vegetables or meat? And then also look at your food budget as a whole. So I understand humans all over the world going out for a meal, sharing a meal with people. It's the way we socialize. It's the way we share good times and love, and food's really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can take a look at your budget with, well, I could probably pack my lunch on this day or eat at home on this day so that I could still, go out to dinner on the weekends. I know you and I have that a lot, especially the first 10 years that we were married, Eddie, where we would choose one day, one meal a week to eat out. That's where we started to save a lot of money too, is just, it's crazy how much we can spend buying coffee out and just because we're too tired or too busy of just, we'll just grab something on the go. But nowadays, I feel like even fast food, restaurant food, it's 2 to 3 times more than what it would cost if we made it ourselves. So those are my quick tips. Again, that's probably a whole other episode that I could talk on. But Rachel, you're doing a great job. And at its very core, stick to what was grown in the dirt or had a mother closest to the source, eliminate the things that don't have that, and apply that budget to the purest food that you can.
Yeah, good advice. Okay, the next one, as a new runner who is slow, how do you not get discouraged or feel judged?
Great question. We'll go ahead and end with this question because I got about 5 minutes left. But wow, I have so much to say about this, just from a coach's perspective, from a mom's perspective, as a friend. I mean, I don't feel like a year goes by that I don't address this topic. One of the most important things I like to tell people is remember that you're the one who showed up. And I think that we need to give ourselves more credit just for that simple act, far outside of intensity, far outside of pace, far outside of finishing results. Whether this is going to the gym to lift, whether you're showing up for a bar class or to get some laps in at the pool, whether you're showing up to that local group run at your run shop or you're joining a friend for a 5K, remember that you simply showed up. Showing up, consistently doing that is one of the toughest things that we will do as humans in all areas of our life. And you have to celebrate that. Allow yourself to start with that. First, start with the fact that you showed up before you let yourself focus on what that pace is or what other people are doing around you. Number 2, the power to focus on your own work, on your own training, is one of the most valuable things you can do for yourself, for your self-esteem, for your confidence. I'd say that for the most part, we as humans we're pretty self-focused, and we can be pretty selfish in our thinking. In fact, we busy ourselves most often with what we look like, what we are doing, what we have, what we don't have. We're really good at criticizing ourselves. So remember that. There actually isn't as many people as you think that are thinking about your pace, the number of minutes that you spend at the gym, what your workout is going to be, what your goals are, believe it or not. When you understand that, it's actually a little bit more freeing, because I think that we can really get inside our heads. And I know people, age is not the limit. I mean, it's crazy. Even 50, 60, 70-year-olds that still think that so many people are going to talk about them. So many people are going to judge them, criticize them, or what are the neighbors going to say? Guess what? No one's saying anything. So go ahead and try the thing, do the thing, be as slow as you think in your head that you are. The fact is that you're trying, that you're doing, that you're moving forward. That will always and forever be the most valuable thing that you do. The finished result will never be as valuable as the journey, as your effort, as the act of trying. In fact, I even like to tell people that if you live a life that's filled with mistakes and failures, that means you've lived a full life, because you spent your life trying. You spent your life experiencing. You spent your life going after all those curiosities and wonder that's in your head. And I hope that you never, ever stop doing that. So focus on the work that you're doing and not the pace. I'm proud of you, and I hope that you can be proud of you too.
Boom. Well done. Those are some great answers. And yeah, I think we got to wrap it up though. Right? Is that good
We got to
timing?
wrap it up.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up. We have so many other questions that we didn't get to, but you know what? There's probably going to be another podcast where we answer them.
There will. We'll hop on the
go.
podcast again actually this week.
Sally says.
As always, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for allowing us to join you in whatever you're doing today. And I want to remind you to keep choosing strong in all you do.